Hi, I think good morning still. It was Central Standard Time or close to noon. It's the 25th of November. And I didn't really have this video planned, and I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip for it. Um, I don't have many notes on what's transpired. Um, First, I want to give a shout out to Morning Dew. I hope you're watching him. That's morning, capital D, period, E, period, W, period. He's covering all the geological events across the world, the volcanoes, the earthquakes, the storms. And I tried to explain to him way back that, you got to take breaks because this stuff will get in your mind and it will mentally hurt you, and it'll make you kind of question. You can almost slip into trying to define reality from what's disreality, and that can be very disconcerting. And I watched his new video today, and he finally let it out. We've been talking about it, right? But he finally let it out. He opened his heart. He said he can't sleep, and he's having issues. And I just think that's the most coolest thing that I could hear from a channel. Of a channel that I try to do myself is open my heart and let y'all know how I really feel and try not to cry while I'm doing it, because all of this is so intense. It's like relearning your whole life. And it's hard because there's so many rabbit holes to go down to give you guys the information or my path so you can compare it to yours and define your own paths. Because I stated before, everybody's got their own path. We have to remember that. I'm not a preacher. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm going through. And I want to give a shout out to RTS out there. Man, really. On point, dude. On point, on point, on point, on point, on point, on point. And you and others, they're all angels. But what you're hitting on is like right in my mind. Great job on that, man. And thank you so much for your support. And I'll single out, and I won't mention your names or anything like that. I'll try and keep it the anonymity, because that's very important, who we are. I'll keep that for you, okay? But man, you're on it. You're on it. You're in my head, and that's cool. Cool, 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 cool. Okay? You make me smile. Now I want to transcend into helping the homeless. I don't like to talk about what I do for the homeless because I feel like you aren't supposed to do it. But kind of I have to explain this story. I spent a lot of my time taking people to, and myself, to food pantries, etc. Usually I try and help one homeless person a day. Okay, and I usually do. Okay, so I had to go to Walmart yesterday because I was trying to pull money off my card to make sure the guitar company don't pull it back off, because I don't know what their deal's about, right? Long story, doesn't matter. As I drove in, I saw a guy with a sign, and I see them coming out of the mountains with backpacks and crap. 12 banks in this freaking town, not a shelter. Let me say that again. 12 banks in this town, but no shelter. Okay? So I've seen these people walking out of the woods in the winter, the summer, with backpacks. Where can they go? The closest shelter is over an hour away in what they define as Searcy County, where Deliverance was filmed. They say if you want to kill somebody, do it in Searcy County. You won't get caught. And that's the real deal. Okay? So, I drive in, I see him with his sign, I wave. I'm driving out, and I didn't stop. I didn't stop because I have money to give him. I don't have any money to give him. I'm barely getting by, or I'm surviving. Okay, I'm okay. All right. This isn't a lead-in. Okay, but on the way back out, I had to stop and pull over and say, "Man, if I could help you, I would." But I tell you, by nightfall, he needed money for to buy his family food last night. And there was another girl that I helped yesterday and hooked her up with numbers of some certain churches that will provide help, you know. I do this on a daily basis, but again, I don't talk about it. I just tell people to do it, okay? All right, so I meet him yesterday. Shake his hand. I say, by nightfall, you will have your money. I'm at the hotel here that I'm staying at, my bungalow, and I was walking around back, I forget why, looking for the maid or something, you know. I run into him. Conversation develops. He's from New York. He's Iroquois Indian. I'm not going to say his name. And then Rainbow Family of Light comes out. And then Apache comes out. Now, if you've been following my channel, my search is for the Rainbow Family of Light. The Hopi and the Cherokee prophesized this group of people. They're in Arizona. And for some reason, it's almost 6 years now I've been on this mission. Something has been burned in my head. Go to Arizona. Find these people. Okay? Man. So we talk. I give him a ride to where he goes to go do his panhandling up Walmart up the street, you know, trying to get money to pay his rent. I'm going to hook him up later with some connections of people that will help. Then I'm up at the office. I wanted to know if this pump out back is spring water, right? Arkansas is covered with springs. So that's why it's on the top of the 2030 UN Agenda Sustainability Act, okay? They want Arkansas. Now, why do they want Arkansas? Because it's got spring water. It's got underground water. It doesn't take a mathematician to have that crap up, you know? All right. And you might want to read that agenda to see if your state's on there too. Because they're going to take them. Eventually, they're going to take them. Whether it be burn the people out, however they do it, they're going to take them. Watch. Okay, so I'm up at the office. I wanted to define with the owner here, is that spring water and can I use it, right? There's also 7 springs down the street that I use also. But I stay away from tap water, you know, even if I got to go buy spring water, I'm not touching the tap water, right? And you shouldn't also. Another video, right? So I see him out there this morning, you know, he's walking up and I'm like, dude, did it work out last night? And he's like, yes, it did. And I said, did it work out by sundown? And he said, yes, it did. And I had tears in my eyes. Then he explains, somehow we got into the fact of talking about New York, and he's from New York. It's where the Iroquois are. That's where the Cherokee were, and the Trail of Tears up in that area, right? That's where your Mohicans are. He has associations with Apache, Chiricahua, okay? Those are the hybrids. That's Geronimo territory, right? Asked him his sign, obviously. He's Cancer. He's close to Gemini. But he starts talking about these twins of his, I think it's brother or sister. There we go with the twins. So, make a long story short, I mentioned something about the Rainbow Family of Light, and he says, I am the Rainbow Family of Light. I can't tell you what this means. I'm just going to, you know, tell you what's happening to me, what's happening on my path. So I'm at the office. He talks to me about his wife. Well, I was doing laps around walking last night, you know, because it's very important for me to keep moving, you know, or I don't sleep. If I'm doing laps, you know, around the back, around last night, this little blonde hair kid comes running up to me, and I'm thinking in my mind, do not run up to strangers, number one, little boy, right? His mother comes out, she smiles, she gets him, it's cool. That's his wife. So I'm up at the office verifying whether or not that's spring water and whether or not I can use it, because that being an unlimited source that I don't got to pay for, right? Instead of trying to find another spring, okay? I talked to her up at the office, and she's needing a ride also up to another organization that helps out. This is after giving him a ride, and I'm like, I will take you. My gas tank's on empty. Let me say that again. My gas tank is on empty. My funds are on empty currently. Doesn't matter. I start talking to her. Obviously, I gave her the ride there. I start talking to her, and she shows me the tattoo that's right here, just a rainbow. I forget what breed she is, but she is also, gosh, I wish I could remember. There's so many tribes that were eliminated. She's part of another tribe. I'm just telling you I guess you would define them as synchronicities. There's another word for it that I like to use because synchronicity is kind of an overused word, I believe. I can't remember the other term I always use, but I'm just excited as hell to meet these people, and that they're about to go on the road, and I think about my health and where I'm at and what I'm going to do. In fact, when I get up here, I got to fight with the insurance companies and contact doctors myself to find out what's going on. What are we doing? Or I need to start traveling to Little Rock and really get some definite answers here and deal with some larger hospitals. And it also involves a battle with my insurance company that I have right now, and switching here pretty quick because I'm about to run out of time, right? So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Help somebody every day. I know you see them on the road. They are all over. They're up here in the mountains with no shelters. At least in Fort Worth, there were shelters. I mean, if it was dropping down to 20 below, you knew you could go to a shelter, which is a living hell, okay? But sometimes it's a justified living hell if you want to live. That's what these people are going through, people. My 144s, my friends, my angels, my brothers, my sisters, okay? And they're going to be all over out here during the holidays. If you can't do something for them, if you can't give them money, give them a ride, please just talk to them. If you can't help them, stop and talk to them. And tell them if you could, you would. And give them your blessing. But everything will be all right. And in the end, they will find peace. And they will find happiness. And what they're going through and what we're all going through right now is just a learning curve. It is defined as the quickening. It's to make us strong. Everything bad that goes on in your life, everything that happens to you, is not bad. It's a lesson. If you think of it that way, which is what it truly is, it's a lot easier to take. And when you're done with that hard time, that pothole in the road, you're going to come out the other side stronger and knowing more and spiritually brighter with more light and more knowledge. We've got many out there to reach. Today or this week, I'm going to work on the homeless, setting up that donation, but I might to make it easier because the tax ID numbers are getting real hard to. It would take months to set it up. Find a homeless organization that isn't built on some freaking glass tower with a bunch of people getting paychecks and not finding homeless people homes. Okay? Some type of organization that I can research and verify that the majority of the funds that they receive go directly to the homeless or in a way go to help the homeless. Not to make a payroll, not to make an overhead, not to build a pyramid above misery. Okay? Then I've got the veterans to work on also. So I think an easier way is to research the foundations and find out the legitimate ones, find out the percentage that actually goes to the veterans, and hook up a link for that. So I'm looking at 3 links. The third link, actually there will be 4, which is going to be hard for y'all, but I don't know how I'm going to do this. I got to figure it out. Would be addiction, which ties right into homelessness. If you're out there self-medicating, I understand. Okay, I totally understand. Don't consider yourself an addict. Again, as I stated before, I don't think people are out there right now getting high. They're self-medicating and they're trying to escape reality. And there are millions across the United States. I would say 1 out of 3 people you're with are probably on some kind of pill or something just to keep them getting through the day. And not define that as it could be an antidepressant, you're self-medicating. Could be an anxiety medication, you're self-medicating. Could be sleep medicine, you're self-medicating. Because you're not allowing your body to do it yourself, and I totally understand. Because I got all them 3 bases covered. I take anxiety medicine. I have to. I had PTSD. Okay? I suffer from deep depression. I'm having issues with it right now. Okay? That's why I got to be very careful about the amount of time I see on the cams, because I got so much planted in my head in so many ways my mind is going right now. And I'm still going through this, what I thought I was awake. It's like a 5-year awakening, going on 6-year awakening, right? So those are 3 avenues I want to cover. And I still think about the people who aren't awake. And you, if you remember, you followed me. I talked about contacting a media company and doing a professional video containing my bids with music, etc., done in a very professional fashion, to be able to contact the last of those out there and save as many people as we can. So I say to you verbally, stop trying to wake people up. But in my mind, I know there's still out there people that can still have their heart penetrated and wake them up. There's 20 jets in the sky spraying rain. Planets surround us. Asteroids head towards us. Ships, etc. Okay? But that might be too many links to donations. I mean, which one are you going to pick, right? So I got to figure out how to work that out. So now I'm getting back into corporate work. Hell, I'll turn into the Wolf of Wall Street again. What the hell? There's something else I wanted to say. Giants. I told you guys about my dream when I was 7 years old, which I guess where this originally came up. I told you all about an uncle 30 years ago, my Uncle Walter, who wrote a letter and sent it to all of the family that talked about planets, the days of darkness, etc., which my mom didn't tell me till after 2 years of being belittled because I was talking about planets all the time. Everyone in Texas, right? Then she tells me that, and I'm like, you could have thrown that in there, Mom. We have a love-hate relationship. Okay, so I'm going to go back to 7 years old. I'm going to go back to Newtown, Connecticut. And I'm going to go back to my dreams. So I've explained once, okay? I used to go down portholes. And I used to be horrified. It was a feeling like I'm going to die, right? And I would lay there in my bed, trying to get words out for somebody to wake me up and stop this before I go through. Okay, when I came through the end of the porthole, I ended up I'm drawing a porthole. I ended up in a city, right? And I didn't see them, but I knew they were around me. Huge beings. Now, what the parallel is, and I'll never watch the movie again, never, ever, is the ending of Cloverfield Paradox. Okay? When she's coming back, after the Earth reappears, after they get the particle accelerator working properly, the circle, the Sheevling, okay? Which changed dimensions and brought all these creatures and beasts in, which might have also been what I was sensing in my dreams too. Not only giants, other things that will be released during this period that approaches us, right? So anyway, that's where I'd come out. And when I saw Paradox, the very ending, it was like the exact dream. It was like a picture of the exact dream. In the dark, him and the little girl hiding. All right? And him screaming, don't let his wife come back. She was on her way in a capsule coming home. Parallel realities is what I'm getting to here. Different dimensions and opening the wrong freaking doors. Okay. Now how this story ends is my parents would find me 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Probably was a certain time, I can't remember. But I bet if I could, it would probably be 3 a.m. So anyway, they'd find me around the house hiding. But I was asleep, hiding behind couches, hiding behind chairs, hiding in corners. Because I was within the dream and actually living the dream throughout my house while all my family was asleep. And I'm running from giants asleep. So what my parents eventually did, and this is not abusive, it was a protective thing because they were scared, they didn't know, is they took my ankle and they took a rope and they tied it around my ankle and they tied it to the bed. So I could never do it. Or so they wouldn't find me like that all the time. I'm going to end this video. We're telling you it's happened a couple other times. It happened on a motorcycle trip that I took when I was 16, my first cross-country trip, chasing a woman in a motel in Ohio. It happened here in the Ozarks when I first got up here at Lake Washita. I got my tent that night. I went to sleep. A ranger pulled up my campground the next morning, took me down for said he wanted to talk to me, took me down for coffee. And I'd had that dream that night, right? Took me down for coffee. They needed to talk to me. Told me there were a bunch of campers. Reported me walking around. It's a campground, Washita State Campground. It's spelled Okachita, but the spelling of it, or the way the Indians pronounce it, is Washita. And it's where all the crystal is. I mean, it's like built on crystal. So anyway, I've got a call coming in. Hold on, let me get rid of these guys. Okay, so that dream occurred that night. He takes me down to the office. Sorry so much about that. Can I have my music back, please? Thank you. Takes me to the office and told me a bunch of campers reported me running around the campground hiding that night. So here was a big question. Here, me in this situation, how do I explain to a ranger that I was dreaming of giants and I was hiding? Well, I denied the whole thing, but I did say when I was young, I used to sleepwalk. That's about how I left it. And there's a longer story after that about him basically taking care of me, and it was just, I've told that story. It's in a past video. I'm not going to go through it again, but the bottom line is that it happened that night. It had happened how many years later? I don't even know. I don't want to say. My mom is old as these mountains. Anyway, much love to y'all. Just sharing my journey. I've run into who I dream about, who I feel, who I've sensed, who I've been drawn to for almost 6 years now. I've talked to you about my wanting to go to Arizona, which is where they are. And I found a way to find them. I hope your searches go well. I hope you find what you need. Research who you are, who you were. That's part of our awakening too. I've talked about everything else, but it's who we are. It's who we were. Remember that. But don't do it through Ancestry.com or any of these weird bloodline places, because they're looking for bloodlines for a certain reason. And that's why they're popping up all over the TV. But that's another video also. Okay? So I want you all to ride the wind. I want you to stay strong. I want you to look for who you are. I want you to look inner self. Okay? Pursue your journey. Pursue who you are. Only listen to my words as information that may direct you. This is not your path. This is mine. Okay? And I just want to say much love to all of you. I'm at the 23-minute mark, and I want to keep this short. Y'all have a great day. I'll try and work. I've got a lot of research I got to do on some issues I spoke about yesterday. I will try and get a bit out to each day to at least try and talk to y'all. But most importantly, continue riding the wind. Always tread the air above the din. Find out who you are. Know who you are. I know who you are. And seek your path. And seek your truth. And we'll all end up in the same place at the end. Remember that. Have a good day. Ride the wind. My name is Darryl Johnson.